Not everything that goes into the smoker has to be meat. I know, gasp. But today, I'm going to be smoking potato wedges. So what I'm going to be working with today are two different types of potatoes. I've got two big russet potatoes, the kind you're going to use to make baked potatoes, and two pretty good sized sweet potatoes. I'm not sure exactly what kind of sweet potato it is. It's a sweet potato. First thing I'm going to do is break these down into quarters so we have nice wedges from each potato. These potatoes have been washed, dried. They might be a little damp on the outside, but they're fine to work with. So this is what we're looking for here. You notice this one got into some different size wedges. That's okay. But this is what we're going to be working with today. If you've got any bits you want to get rid of, go ahead and just chop them off. For the sweet potatoes, I'm going to take a little bit of the pointiest ends off. There are our sweet potato wedges. Now let's get on to seasoning all these potatoes. I'm going to start with the sweet potato wedges first and have to put a little bit of olive oil on them. Just a little drizzle. Just going to coat those, move them around in the bowl, get the outsides coated. That's good. Now I'm going to add the spice on the outside, the rub, if you will, for these potato wedges. For the sweet potato wedges, I went with a spicy rub. It has a 1/4 teaspoon of chipotle chili powder in it, about a teaspoon of this Penzeys Northwoods fire spice, which I love, teaspoon of black pepper, teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of a very coarse salt that was ground up, and now we're just going to sprinkle it on these wedges. And we'll work these around in the bowl to make sure everything's coated. You want a really good coating on these, both on the flesh side and the skin side. The flesh side's more important. Just toss them around in the bowl. Get a nice coating on them, just like that. Now let's move on to our russet potato wedges. Similar process for these russet potato wedges. We're going to hit them with a little olive oil. Make sure everything's coated in there. We're going to hit these with spice also, but this rub is a little bit different. This one doesn't have quite as much fire as the other one had. This has a teaspoon of ground black pepper, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and a teaspoon of a spicy garlic fusion rub. It's got some heat, but not as much as the other rub. Just start coating our potatoes here. And just like the sweet potatoes, we're going to roll them around in this bowl. Get everything coated. There are our russet potato wedges, all coated in that nice spice mixture. And it's time now to get these and the sweet potato wedges out into the Char-Broil Electric Smoker. All right, the Char-Broil Electric is up to temperature. We're gonna run it between 225 and 250. It's at about 221 right now. I wanna get it in there before this hickory smoke starts going. I've got just a small amount of hickory chips in the wood box, maybe a 1/4 full, if that. Don't need a lot of smoke with this today, just a good amount at the initial stages, because really this is going to be a drying and crisping process. So let's get our potato wedges inside. I'm going to put our sweet potato wedges here. I don't know if you can see I've got some crust left over from some ribs I did on here. I don't care if I get a little bit of rib crust on these potatoes. Then we're going to put the russets on this shelf. Just going to push these back in. We're going to close this up and let it get smoking. Let that temp come back up. These are going to be going for probably 1.5 to 2 hours in here today. We'll check them about an hour and see how tender they are. But these are gonna be terrific. I can already tell. Okay, our potato wedges have been going for an hour. Let's see how tender they are. Oh, that smell. Let's see how the russets are doing first here. Oh, they still have more to go. Yeah, definitely. That's what we're checking here. It's gonna be another half hour to an hour. Let's check the sweet potatoes. Same thing, yeah. We're just in the beginning process here of drying and crisping these, but boy, the smell coming off them is amazing. All right, let's close this back up. Gonna let our temp build back up. I'm gonna check these again in about, I'm gonna say 45 minutes. I think it's gonna take more than another half hour. So in 45 minutes, we'll be back out, check them again. Okay, we are at an hour and 45 minutes in. Need to check these, see how they're doing. Ooh, look at that. Let's check these sweet potatoes first here. Oh, those are feeling nice and tender. Yep, sweet potatoes are definitely coming off. Let's check the russets. See, the bigger ones still need a little bit. Smaller ones are getting close. But I'm gonna say these russets need another 20 minutes. So I'm gonna take the sweet potatoes off and leave the russets on for about 20 minutes. Take these inside, cover them up with some foil, have them wait for the russets to get done. Close this back up and let those potatoes finish. Okay, it's just over 2 hours now for these russet potato wedges, so let's see how they're doing. Oh, much better. Yep. All right. These are ready to go inside and join their sweet potato friends. And we're gonna dig into these. So here are our smoked potato wedges, sweet potatoes and russet potatoes. I've got a little bit of barbecue sauce to dip them in. I've got some sriracha ketchup. So let's get to tasting these. All right, it's tasting time, but there's a little bit of a dilemma. I can't remember which side is which. If I knew more about potatoes, I could probably look at them and say, oh, that's a sweet potato or that's a russet. I'm just gonna have to dive in and see. All right, I think I'm almost positive this is one of the smoked russet potato wedges. So here we go. I'm gonna do it without sauce first. Ooh. Oh, that's really good. Hickory, definite hickory. Okay, this one I'm gonna go for barbecue sauce. Oh yeah. I like the barbecue sauce on this one, but I've got to try some of the sriracha ketchup too. That's got a nice little kick to it, along with the spices on this one. I really like that. Now it's time for the sweet potato wedge. Let's see. No sauce on the first bite. Well, that's good. Oh, but that's got some heat. Whoa! That's got some heat. What did I put on there again? Chipotle? Man, that's got heat. I'd do another bite without sauce just to see. Really good, really flavorful, but heat. Okay, let's go with some barbecue sauce for this one. That's making my eyes water. Here we go. With that barbecue sauce, that mellows the heat, definitely. Boy, that's got a good flavor in it. And also that hickory right in there, just like on the russet potato wedges. Now let's try some of that sriracha ketchup. Okay, we're gonna put heat on top of heat here. Whoa. Here we go. Good flavor, more heat. Wow. I'm trying to think of what I put on these. Did I forget something? Did I put like cayenne or something? Okay, I'm thinking I might have forgotten one spice that I put in there. There was a Cajun spice that was sitting out on my counter that I think I might have put in here. That might explain it. Whoa. I'm gonna go for some more barbecue sauce. There you go. Also super tender. These might be good with like a ranch dressing if you want something really cool and refreshing with this. Okay, last little bite of this wedge with the sriracha ketchup. Yeah, there's heat there, but there's a lot of flavor too. And you could dial back that spice, especially if you don't put in Cajun seasoning that you forgot that you put it in the first place. Now you can do these on the electric smoker like I did. You can do them on the offset when you're cooking something else, or on the kettle when you're cooking something else. These are great, just do them indirect. This took about 1 hour and 45 minutes for the sweet potatoes and 2 hours and 5 minutes for the russet potatoes. And that was running at that temperature between 225 and 250. And you could change up the wood on this if you want, use a different type of wood chip. Some fruit wood would be really nice. I just love hickory. That's why I used hickory. These would be a great appetizer or even a side dish if you're doing something like ribs or a tri-tip or something like that out there on the smoker. So remember, you don't just have to smoke meat. You can smoke other things too, and they turn out terrific. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out some of the other videos on my channel and consider subscribing. And if you do, click that bell for notifications. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you again soon.